Welcome to SPFL Extra. This week we're going to be covering a wee bit of transfer chat, wee bit of European preview and review.
And of course, obviously, this is the show by the fans, for the fans, so we're looking at all the comments from last week as well. Last week we were right in the fact that Nadir Chifty signed a day after, or the day the video came out.
We've got all the inside knowledge.
Can't beat us to the punch, no one does.
Sky Sports is playing right there.
But a lot of people in the comments were looking at the hoops and saying about Martin Odegaard coming in on loan. One of the big young thing in world football at the moment, of course signed to Real Madrid. I mean, I'm sorry to burst people's bubble, but I just can't see it happening at all.
No. The thing about this is, on paper,
it works. I mean, it's going to go to a Champions League club, get a lot of first team action, get a lot of much needed game time.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of attention on him. But the thing is, Martin Odegaard is not a football player yet. He's a kid. He's 16 years old. He's just relocated to Madrid with his dad, who's now on the coaching staff at Madrid. I don't see any reason for him to move to Glasgow.
I mean, moving to Glasgow, that'd be like a punch from Mike Tyson.
No, that's a punch from John Smeaton. Let me tell you that. That's not going to help Martin Odegaard. I don't see it happening. I tell you
as much as I would love to see it happen, and it would be so good for Scottish football.
Absolutely love it.
It would bring so many eyes onto Scottish football. Everyone would want to see how Martin Odegaard's getting on at Celtic.
Odegaard and McDermott. Absolutely perfect. But
I just don't see it.
I don't see it happening. Another team that have added a few players that we had a wee bit of grief that we didn't cover was Dundee.
Yeah, I mean, they've been busy.
Paul Hartley's boys. Now, Rory Loy's been brought in there. I like that.
Yeah,
that's
he's good. He's good. And then there's also the young defender from East Fife, Julian Extabarian.
Julian Extabagurian Lanzaburita. Now,
smashing.
What a story. Julian played for the Real Sociedad B team, didn't ever break through to the first team, decided he'd come to Scotland to study. Can we get him living here for 4 years, bit of nationality here and in the side?
In the Scotland squad, it's early talk of Scotland. Early talk of Scotland for the young man.
I like him though. I think he's good. I think there's a bit of development coming on at Dundee. They have signed some good players. You look at Nick Ross, Kane Hemmings
up top.
There's depth
from down
in that
south.
team.
Yeah.
We touched on Hearts last time with the striker signing of Juanma Delgado, and we talked about them getting continental, but that isn't the half.
That's just the tip of the iceberg of how continental Hearts have been getting.
Robbie Nielsen has been doing the rounds.
A world tour, shall we say, of scouting.
Nigerian, what's his name? Oshinawa, Juwon Oshinawa.
Oh yeah, Oshinawa, that's the one.
Yeah, he's a left back. He's potentially
expected to sign in this week, in the coming sort of days.
We talked about Alim Ozturk. You talked about him being a leader in the centre back, but they've also brought in another centre back.
Yeah, the Polish Blaise Augustine is going to be probably partnering him.
All 6'3" of him. Now, the Jambos are making a run. They're trying to push.
Making movements. Yeah, I've got to admit, it saddens me as a Hibby, for those who were asking, and some of those who got it right, to see Hearts signing players like this, and Gavin Riley as well up top.
Gavin Riley. I like Hearts. I think they've made a few developments there, but if they're going to make a push for that sort of top tier, they've got to contend with Aberdeen. Aberdeen, we didn't touch on it, very quietly picked up probably the best signing, I think.
Probably the best signing so far for free, Graham Shinnie.
What a signing at left back, in a position, if you want to compete with the top teams, you have to have a solid defence. To bring in a player like Graham Shinnie, who was such an important player in Cali Thistle, he just jumps in, plays his role.
Yeah, I mean, I really like that signing. And the biggest part, no money involved.
Yep.
Free transfer, that's smashed, brilliant.
And now to cover a couple of comments from last week, generally pretty positive, thank you very much for that. We had one comment from very far away.
Yeah, far-reaching as we are, Armenian Rita Simonian. Hopefully she's watching, they're watching again this week.
Yeah.
But reaching far and wide, SPFL.
Huge. She was supporting St Johnstone, apparently. Maybe she supports a rival team for Alashkert in Armenia, I don't know, but hey.
Fatty Watch! My reliable source in the field, YouTube commenter Mark Kerr, has told me that Motherwell have trialled Faddy himself. No. The man, the myth, the legend, Faddy, is hopefully going to be playing for Motherwell next season.
Now let's get a few things straight. Reliable informant Mark Kerr is just a YouTube commenter. We have no idea if this is true, but I'll tell you
I
what,
believe it.
I believe it. I believe in Fadi. And if he's got a trial, there's no chance Barclough's turning him down. Fadi, trial, it's perfect. It's perfect, Fadi. Like, give him 10 minutes on the field, right? On you go, Fadi.
Just score some 40 and that's it.
Scores from 40, sits down on the bench and says, sign me, pay me. I'm amazing.
It's a done deal.
One man who commented last week who got our European predictions far better than us was Dylan McCaig.
Yep.
McCaig commented in saying that Aberdeen would go through and that St Johnstone
would struggle and be a maybe, and so I would count that as pretty spot on there.
Exactly spot on. St Johnstone were desperate for a last minute goal to try and go through, because on away goals we went out to Alashkert FC, the fourth side from Armenia. So everything's great in my life this week. Brilliant. Absolutely wonderful. The spine of a team, you're looking at centre backs and centre mids, and we're missing a lot. We were missing Murray Davidson. Stephen Anderson went down injured. It's tough.
I know, but still, you'd be looking for them to get through the first round.
I'll just throw it out there. Regionalise the early stages of the Europa League qualifiers. This should be a money spinner for teams like St Johnstone. It should be a reward, not a hindrance. They shouldn't have to fly out to Armenia. Another team that did a little bit better are Aberdeen. Aberdeen are through to the next rounds. 0-0 draw at home. Solid.
Yeah, I mean it was a good performance. They've got a tough side to face now though.
HNK Rijeka from Croatia. They fly out to Croatia. Of the 3 Scottish teams playing in Europe this week, Aberdeen are the only ones playing away.
The only ones playing away.
Although
like I think I quite like the away game being first. It means you know what you've got to do at home.
I think they'll surprise Rijeka. I like Aberdeen. I like the Graham Shinney. I like Adam Rooney. I like the team they built. The thing about Aberdeen, quietly built this team.
Yeah.
No big noise, no players leaving, no players disgruntled, none of that. Quietly built a very good team. Derek McInnes, good manager. Good manager.
I mean, you've got to look at Rijeka though. They last season sold Kramrich for £9 million. It's a big signing, and they obviously had money. An injection of money there, so I mean they're going to be a tough side for Aberdeen, but I'll agree with you. I think I like Aberdeen's chances. 2 more games to preview in Europe, and one of them is a huge one for all Inverness Caledonian Thistles fans. The first game in Europe ever for Inverness Caledon.
It's brilliant. It's a great story. Cali Thistle barely been around, only for like our lifetime.
Yeah, exactly.
And now they're in Europe. They're going up against Astra Giurgiu. I don't exactly know how to pronounce it, but Astra are from Romania, and I'll tell you what, they're good.
Yeah, they are a good side.
Inverness fans, get your comments in below.
You know, it's going to be tough. They're playing at home first.
Is it backs against the wall, or do players like Ryan Christie get out there and try and create? Can Inverness Cali Thistle?
You've got to look at it again, like this game's another cup final. The second leg of this game. It's going to be another cup final.
Exactly.
So they've got to come and play like they did in that cup final.
The champions Celtic enter into the Champions League opening qualifying round against FC Stjarnan, and we love these boys.
I'm sure you may not know them by name, but you'll definitely have heard and seen a little bit of this team. They're famous for
None of their football. No,
not the football. No. They're famous for amazing and wild celebrations that they do.
They're brilliant.
Ones that people may remember, such as the human bicycle, the human toilet, and of course the fish. Yeah, I think they'll give them a wee scare. They've got talent for sure. I mean, they have to score these goals to do all these celebrations.
Yeah,
so I mean, they have to have something. But I think I'd definitely be backing Celtic to advance to the next one.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to
Stat Attack.
Welcome to Stat Attack, Conor Fergan's weekly segment where he gives you the most important pieces of information that Scottish football fans simply need to know. Conor Fergan, this week?
It is a need-to-know basis, and I'm bringing you the information. This week, I'm talking pies.
Pies.
The cheapest pie you can buy in Scotland, as of last season, was at Station Park for Forfar. So if you are lucky enough to be playing Forfar, get yourself down to Station Park.
How much are we talking?
£1.20, and if I'm not mistaken, that's less than us eating at Greg's.
Phenomenal. And now time for our highlight of the week. This week, Conor, you're going to take it?
Yeah, it's Scott Allen becoming a proud father this week, and what I'm putting out there is Novak Djokovic has said that fatherhood was the best thing for him in his Wimbledon win and his great success. So I'm hoping that Scott Allen will take from that, and we're going to lift the Scottish Championship.
That's all for this week, folks. Remember though, this channel's all about you, so we want to hear about your transfer chat.
and all your predictions for the upcoming European football.
Let us know your highlights of the week.
And to make sure you don't miss any of our videos, make sure and subscribe to the SPFL YouTube channel here.
That's all, folks.
See you next week.